What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the MIgardener channel. Super excited about this episode because it's going to be a little bit different than our normal episodes, but it's one you all have been asking for. And it's, how do I make money with my garden? Well, now for the longest time, we have never made this a priority of ours, and it still is not a priority. But in recent months, we've been able to make a little bit of money, and I figured it'd be a good time to film this episode because I know there are a lot of people that are looking to make money doing what they love. Now, I'm not referring to making a living with your garden. There's a lot of channels out there. One being, if you're looking at doing urban farming, my favorite channel of all time would be Urban Farmer Curtis Stone. I'd recommend checking out his channel. He's a great guy. Hey, chill out. Blue Jays are out. So in this episode, I'm just going to show you how to make a little side money, because in our garden, we primarily grow for ourselves, friends, family, and our soup kitchen. We believe in supporting community, and so we try to do that as much as possible. But even then, after all of that is said and done, we have a lot of produce that we can sell. One crop we've been able to make a fair amount of money this year planting is lettuce. Lettuce is a terrific crop to grow for its sellable value, because a lot of restaurants locally are looking now for those locally grown crops. Lettuce is something that is in high demand because of salads, garnishes, burgers, sandwiches. I mean, you name it, it's got lettuce on it. And a lot of these restaurants, if you're living in an area that is becoming more health conscious, it's kind of on the up and up, it's trying to be trendy. The trend now is locally grown. It's locally sourced, and it is health conscious. So salads are something that a lot more people are looking to eat and looking to incorporate in their menus. Whereas it's also very difficult to source them in areas like where we live, because there's not a lot of people growing them. So restaurants are forced to go with a company like Gordon Food Services or other restaurant supply companies that just kind of give you whatever they're harvesting. It's usually been shipped hundreds of miles. It's usually not locally grown at all. And it also is usually really expensive because it's a perishable item. So we've been able to actually grow this spring mix here. We throw in just a variety of different lettuces, and we've been able to get about $6 a pound for our lettuce. That is a terrific price for this area. And normally, the market price is usually about $4.50 to $5, but because we're giving them a premium, we're cutting it same day and delivering it to them when they need it, it's really great because we've been able to make a little money on the side. So that's just one way that we've been able to make some money with our garden. Let's go to the second way we've been able to make a little money. All right, so the second way we make some money, as it's starting to rain pretty hard now, so we're gonna make this quick, is with herbs. Herbs are a great money maker because of the fact that they are perishable and they are expensive. Cilantro here, where we live, is about $1.50 a bunch, and we're talking a small bunch. So we're talking about maybe about this much or so. It's close to $1.50 at our local grocery store. Now, obviously, restaurants are buying this in bulk, but it's very expensive and it's very perishable because it can't be, it can't be flash frozen. It can't be, it's not good dehydrated. It has to be used fresh. So restaurants, a lot of Mexican restaurants will buy this stuff fresh. We actually have a Mexican restaurant just down the road that we've been selling a bunch of this for about 50 cents per bunch. And that's a real good amount. That's a real good price for this much. And when we harvest our cilantro, we like to give them first dibs on the quality. So we'll pick a bunch, we'll let them kind of pick through the stuff that they like the best, and then the rest we'll just use fresh or we'll donate to a local soup kitchen. But we pretty much grew this block. We harvest a little bit for us, but we pretty much grew this block solely for resale because it just grows so easily, and we had the space anyways. We figured, why not plant a crop that we can make a little money on, and this is a great one. So this is a good dollar item that you can make a quick buck on. But also basil. Let's go talk about basil. Basil is one that every restaurant seems to use, whether it's an Italian restaurant or whether it's just a deli that's putting it on their sandwiches, or whether it's, we've had boutique drink companies that want to add them to like their lemonades and things like that. So we have sold so much of this basil. It is a great money maker and one that really has been an asset to us because you cut it back and it regrows. It grows all season long. It's so easy to take care of. And the caveat here is that you can grow varieties that are not sold at your local restaurant distribution company or even your local grocery store. Prime example, we have our dwarf Greek basil, we have our spicy globe basil, we have our purple Ruffles basil, we have lemon basil, lime basil, Thai basil, great for Thai restaurants, really hard to source, high dollar item, folks. We're making on our basil here, we have about 12 plants. We're making about $10 a week selling our basil, and that's just like stuff we have on the side. When we want to sell it, we sell it. If we don't have any, we tell them we don't have any. And it's that simple. You're not being contracted to source this stuff on a weekly basis. There's a lot of restaurants that will do that, so they have regular inventory, but I simply said, hey, I'll call you at the beginning of the week. If we have some to sell and you want to buy some, great. If not, that's fine too. And that's one of the real nice things about being a home gardener is it's flexible. And if you can find a restaurant that's flexible with you, it's a total win-win situation. So that's been a great moneymaker for us and has definitely really helped to give us a little cash on the side, which is always nice. And finally, the last moneymaker in our garden has been edible flowers. This is one that is so commonly overlooked because it is an extremely high dollar item, extremely perishable item at that. So we have been selling two different types of edible flowers. The first one, you can all probably guess what that one is, very common edible flower. I got one right here. Squash blossoms. These are commonly stuffed or fried or used as garnishes. Very, very high dollar item. Another thing that we've been selling very, very frequently are nasturtium flowers. Nasturtium flowers are extremely peppery. They're great used as garnishes. They're delicious, and and you can sell these pretty readily to restaurants. The caveat with that is you have to have a high dollar menu restaurant. Most mom and pop restaurants won't even know that these are edible or even consider putting them on their menu. We're very blessed to about 30 minutes away have a gastropub, one that is very well known throughout the country, and it's been really nice for us to be able to sell some of those edible flowers to them because they put them on their menu. They typically keep things really seasonal, so when they do have them seasonal, they're forced to source locally, and since hardly anyone grows them locally, we've pretty much said, hey, would you ever have any interest in buying some of these and putting them on your menu? And they said, absolutely, we already do. We just have a hard time sourcing them. So if you can provide them, we'll buy them. And that's been real nice because those, just even a few flowers is gonna be about $1 for a cluster of probably 10 or 15 flowers. So those are kind of those real special items. They're usually also candied, which is another thing. People candy like borage flowers and put those on desserts and salads and things like that. We're not growing any borage this year, but last year we grew some and it produces unbelievably, and you can make a lot of money doing that. The next thing too that I was gonna mention is make sure it's a win-win situation. Don't go in there with the mindset of, I'm gonna make a quick buck and I'm gonna get as I'm gonna get as many dollars out of what I'm growing as possible. Talk to them first and say, hey, what would be a win for you so that it's a win for me? You have to understand that the food industry, they make about 15 to 20% margins if they're really lucky on their food. 15 to 20% margins is very low. That's really low. It's about 15 to 20 cents on every dollar is actual profit for the business. That's very, very low. So I would encourage you to just talk to them first and see what would be comfortable for them. Work out a price because not every place is the same. What the prices we're getting are not the prices you'll be getting. So just some ways that we've been able to make money here on the homestead with our garden. But now I want to talk about two other ways you can make money that are obviously pretty self-explanatory, but ways that you can definitely make some money. All right, the next way you can make some money with your garden is by selling compost. Compost is an awesome resource and is one that a lot of gardeners and many gardeners actually buy because they don't have a great way of either producing compost, or maybe they live on a small lot where composting is not allowed, and compost is something that we need to grow our plants, And many gardeners pay top dollar, between $20 and $30 a yard. So if you're someone that's producing a lot of compost, more than you need, sell it. There's nothing wrong with putting an ad up on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different places to sell stuff, and you can put compost up there. No one's going to, I mean, no one will judge you for selling something. People sell far weirder things, and compost is, like I said, something that is everyone's necessity when it comes to growing plants. So make sure to think about that. If you're someone that lives out in the country that produces a lot of manures through your animals and food scraps and yard waste and animal feed and tons of stuff like that can be broken down, that can then be turned into compost and resold. And it's a great money maker. I mean, $20 to $30 a yard. This right here is about 1.5 yards. Now, again, I'm using all of this on my garden, but this is not that big of an undertaking to produce this. This took about 2 months' time, and if I sold just this, and this only took me 2 months' time, if I sold this for $30, which I easily could, without a doubt, I could easily sell this for $30. That's like $15 a month, extra money on the side. So again, just use your brain and get creative with different ways to make money. This is certainly not out of the realm of possibility for some people. I know, especially those living out in the country. And the final way is with starts. Now, obviously, I don't have any starts started, but we've done this in the past. We've done this even recently. We sell starts because we grow so many more seedlings than we actually plant in our garden, because it's smart to have some backups. But when you don't need those backups, there's a lot of other people that do, and they're willing to pay top dollar for them. Starts are a great way, and probably one of the most common ways people make money with their garden, because of the fact that you can sell a tomato seedling for $2. You can sell a pack of 4 lettuce seedlings for a couple bucks, and people will buy them. Now, I'm not saying you have to do this, but it's certainly a great way that if you're starting stuff, you're buying seed starting materials, it can help cover some of the cost of seed starting and help offset the cost of your garden, or even put a little money back in your pocket. So these are great ways to make a little money with your garden. And like I said, there's probably a lot more other ways as well, but it's just something that you can take and utilize. And if you did use it, great. If not, I hope you at least enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. It really helps me out. And also let me know in the comments box below other types of videos you'd like to see. I'd really be curious about some things that you'd like to see, because the garden's starting to wind down, and so content is it's getting harder to find those beautiful nuggets. But I'm still trying for you, because every time I come out, I think I could do that video for them. So I'm doing this for you, but it definitely helps if you throw down a couple comments to help me out. So as always, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. This is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home. We'll catch you all later. See ya.